So it's your boy Dell with Opposing Perspective Podcast. We got the real Harmonic Flow in the building.
Yo, what's going on, man?
What's the real Harmonic Flow?
Came from a young boy, just wanted to rap. Always been inspired by old school music, like my dad playing a lot of old school songs like Stevie Wonder, KRS-One.
What's your favorite Stevie Wonder song?
Definitely throw Higher Ground in there.
Let's talk about the latest project.
The project is called Love and Tribulations. It was produced by my boy Swaggy T and William Ward, Inner Will. It was really inspired because, life, just going through life, trying to figure out what's coming up next. And
was your faith question?
There was a point in my life, I actually moved away from Jersey and I moved down south to Mississippi. There's one thing I do try to pride upon is being original and trying to, not try to go with the flow of what everybody else is going with. I find myself a lot of times to rap about positivity and, unity, love, a lot of different things like that. And a lot of things you can notice too in my music is I don't really cuss that much. Like you might hear maybe one or two here and there, but most of the time I don't even cuss. My grandpa one thing he always taught me was using cuss words was just like an easy way to like say what you really want to say. It's like almost like a cop out.
Glad you reached out, you tuned in, you wanted to get down with us. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate it.
So, I'm trying to figure out, man, I had no idea all that time. I was seeing you as a basketball court, as a young boy, still one of the young boys on the basketball court, that, he was out here rapping, though, the whole time?
Yeah, for sure. That whole time, like, even when you see me as a young boy, I was still rapping. Matter of fact, some of the friends you used to see around, like Chris and all them, we all used to hang out and freestyle together, different things, and kind of came to a point where we actually was about to start making music and different things. So yeah, that's where it kind of definitely started from.
Well, we definitely about to ask you more about that. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get the show started. So it's your boy Dell with Opposing Perspective Podcast. You can tune into us on Facebook, IG, YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. We got a special guest, you know what I mean? Somebody who I've known for a minute, for a couple of years, since he was like a young boy in high school. Yeah. It's good to see him. He's doing his thing now. We got the real Harmonic Flow in the building.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Yo, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad that you came out here. When I heard it, when I saw you on the Blockhouse freestyle, I was like, oh snap. When you first reached out, I was like, oh, he rap? But then when I saw it, you know how it is. Everybody got to see it. You can't just tell somebody you do something. They got to see it.
Right.
Yeah, so just tell us, who's the real Harmonic Flow?
So real Harmonic Flow, man, listen, I just came from a young boy. Just wanted to rap. Always been inspired by music, like especially old school music. Like my dad, since I was a little kid, I remember just being in his car and just playing a lot of old school songs like Stevie Wonder, KRS-One.
What's your favorite Stevie Wonder song? I'm putting you on the spot. Let's see. So you drop it?
Now that is hard. He got so many hits. I ain't gonna lie to you, but if I were to narrow it down, man, I definitely throw Higher Ground in there.
Okay.
Definitely. I actually mentioned that in my one song, Faith, towards the end when I was talking about Don't Worry About a Thing, Higher Ground, Stevie Wonder. So yeah, that song definitely meant a lot to me growing up.
Songs in the Key of Life, everything on that is fire. Everything on that. But no, that's what's up. So that's what inspired you. So when did you get into like really just the rhyming part? Was it in high school or just as a kid?
I got into it. I was like 13 years old, actually. It was on my birthday. I remember I was hanging out with a bunch of my friends, and we were just sitting there like, yo, how about we just start rapping? Let's make like a rap video or whatever. And I remember like we actually went ahead and did it. And ever since then, I was just like, you know what, let me take this serious. So like me and my one other friend that was there with me, we actually started making music back when we was like 13, 14. I actually dropped my first mixtape back then.
Okay.
It's actually not out no more though. It was taken down, but yeah, I started dropping music as early as back then, and it all started from there. Just wanting to just always rap. Like I always been such a fan of hip hop, but the thing with me was it's hard for me to just be just a fan because I love it so much that part of me inside of me always is just like, yo, I need to write something down. Like I gotta have my own creative perspective towards like what I want to hear and different things like that. So yeah.
No, that's real. You really gotta love what you do, especially on this music or entertainment side. Because if you don't love it, you're gonna have a lot of heartbreaks. Southside Tony told me that, and I was like, "That's true." Like, you gotta love what you do to keep, because you're not always gonna be rewarded for the work that you put in. For real. So, I guess I say, what's going on with the latest project? How you plan on pushing that? Shout that project out.
Yeah, man, I'm actually looking forward to doing a couple more shows for the rest of the year. Got some music videos I want to start pushing out, especially for certain songs that a lot of people have been reacting to, and
Okay.
I'm definitely pushing all over social media. I do different things where like I'll join people's lives and just start playing my music or like rap. I just feel like it's just an easy way to branch out. So.
On the streaming or on like TikTok and stuff?
Yeah, like TikTok lives or, certain people that got a little follow. I'll join and, be like, hey, I rap. If they put me on the spot, I'll rap or different things like that. So
no, that's good.
Try to branch myself out there in different crowds.
Let's talk about the latest project. What's the inspiration behind it?
Man, so the inspiration behind that was...
Shout out the project.
The project is called Love and Tribulations. It was produced by my boy Swaggy T and William Ward, Inner Will. Okay. And it was really inspired because I've always been writing and rapping for a long time. Like, I kid you not, my last project I put out was in 2020. So like all the time being from then until my latest one I just dropped now, like I kind of been on like not a writer's block, but like just going through life. Trying to figure out what I want to do or like what's coming up next. And, in that time being, it was kind of hard trying to be an artist at the same time because, I felt like I still had a lot to learn and a lot to just experience in general in life as a man, and I didn't feel like I was there yet, maybe didn't feel like I had enough experience to talk about in my rhymes maybe, or like, I don't know what it was, but I just know
it took 5 years.
Yeah, it took a little time to get my foot in the door again.
That's dope though. Like, people don't realize like it's never overnight. Like, like Juvenile, I was watching Juvenile said people don't realize like we were doing this since like 95. People think, this is our first album, mainstream album, but we've been putting in work all these years to get to this point. You know what I mean? I was watching an interview, with the whole Cash Money thing that was going on with the verses. Yeah. So, that's kind of dope to hear that. So you put all those experiences from you becoming a man and all that in here.
Yeah, and then
So like, is that what inspired the track Faith? Like you just kept your faith through all that time?
Yep, and you're in the right direction. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, so definitely with that, that was something. A lot of times when I rap, I kind of find myself like talking to my own self. Mm-hmm. Although like what I'm saying maybe like another point of view, but it's always like kind of me reflecting on my own life and like kind of talking to the inner child, like, hey, like do this and that will get you where you need to go as long as you stay in the course. You know what I mean? So it's almost kind of like a reminder to me. It's another reason why I like making music, because like all my different experiences and things that I know as far as knowledge or whatever, I like to pour that into my music because it's like a daily reminder. It's like food for thought, food for life. It just builds me up and keeps me going. So that's why I love doing music.
You took a real soulful approach on this album. Like, I love the samples. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Dope.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
I was shocked by some of them. But just go through the rundown. How did the project go through the experience? Where did you record? And who was a part of this project?
So yeah, man. So I pretty much started getting started about February of this year. That I started going to the studio. So what happened was I had a lot of music like written down and all that, but I just didn't record it yet. So starting in like February, I did my first show, and I got put on by my big friend that believed in me and all that. So at that point, I was like, I need to get this recorded because I can't just be performing with no like music recorded, even though I was doing it. I felt like the way I came into it the hard way, even though I still got it done and all that. I was like, man, like I was performing with no music recorded, like one of the main people on the show, but Hey, I got that done. Started recording. Went to Camden, New Jersey with my boy Clint.
Shout out Clint. Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, shout out to Clint. Man, he be doing this thing. All the other people that come there, man, they all good people.
Piranha School and all that.
Yeah, Piranha School. Shout out to them. Yeah, man, I started going to Clint. He's been a big help as far as like my music. You know, just pointing me in the right direction, creative wise, as far as like how things should sound, and you know, he always like there for me. You know, and I was definitely appreciating him for being the engineer on the whole project. And yeah, I started from there with him, and then after that, I started doing more and more shows because I finally got my music recorded. So at that point, it was a lot easier to get booked and people to, you know, try to put me on their slots. So, yeah. So I dropped my first song, Faith. I actually dropped that before the album came out. So,
oh really?
Yeah, that was my first single, and I dropped that back in like what was it, April? Yeah, back in like April of this year. Okay. And yeah, that went really well. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people really like that. I do. And they were anticipated a lot for the next project, so I really appreciate all the people that tuned in for that one. And
now you down with Colossal? With Colossal Records?
Shout out to Colossal Records.
Sicklerville in the building, man. I love what's going on with Colossal Records. I can't lie. Yeah. I really think, you know, they rep the area really well with the music. You know, I mean, I'm not going to say, you know, there was a lot of greats, you know what I mean, Big C and all them back in the day, but I think the movement of what they're doing, the quality of music with the videos and everything, I don't think anybody pushing like them. So, you know, what's keeping you from getting down with Colossal?
Hey, man, you know, whenever they want to send the contract, whenever they want to holler at your boy, you know, I'll definitely be in all ears and all, you know.
Swaggy got to send you the Suge contract.
Yeah. But listen, they family though. At the end of the day. Yeah. But yeah, man, we all family though. Like shout out to them. You know, I support them whenever they got shows. They support me, so you know, definitely, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about some of the experiences that you say. You know, when you say keep the faith in your song, like, you know, was your faith questioned? You know what I mean? Was you down? Was you at a point where you was about to give up? As you said, you was trying to figure out what you were about to become?
Yeah, definitely, man, because there was a point in my life, you know, I actually moved away from Jersey and I moved down south to Mississippi. I ain't gonna lie.
Why did you go to Mississippi?
I just wanted to experience something new.
Like when?
I actually moved down there back in, what was this, about 2022.
Oh, okay, so that's why I didn't see you for a minute.
Yeah, I was gone for a little minute, man. Okay. I moved down there for about a year. Yeah, it's about a good year I was down there. Now I moved back up here. Just wanted to get away, you know, try to experience something new and try something new. So
how did you blend in over there, down there?
Oh, it was fun. I blended in pretty well. I mean, everybody knew I wasn't from down there, though. I'll tell you that. Like, they was like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "Jersey." And they like, "Yeah, we could tell."
What brought you way down to Mississippi, though?
Well,
that's a place I never thought to go and visit at all or be a part of. But that in Kentucky, they can have that. They can have that.
Well, at the time, you know, I was actually into like real estate and different things and home construction. So I actually got a hold of this property down there that was like a fixer-up one. And it was very cheap to move in and all that. It was kind of like a rent-to-own property.
Okay.
So I was like, I saw that as an opportunity. I could fix that house up and all that and learn different things construction-wise. You know what I mean? So I kind of looked at it as a business move to go down there career-wise and learn a little side hustle and all that. And yeah, I moved down there, got that crib. I was living down there for a good year, and I moved back up to Jersey after a while because they didn't have too much resources down there. It wasn't too much accessibility as far as music goes neither. So, you know, I was kind of felt a little stuck down there. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, when you're in them type of places, you can.
Yeah. But people down there were real cool people, though. I'd say that, man. I had met some real genuine folk, you know. There's a lot of stereotypical things I was hearing before I moved down there. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I heard a lot of stuff, but I ain't gonna lie. When I got down there, I never got treated wrong by any people. You know, everyone was nice. So, yeah, it was definitely cool.
Right now, the music industry and everything is oversaturated. You know, it's accessible. It's easier to make music. You know, so what keeps you in the game? How do you feel as though you can differentiate from any other artist that's out right now?
It's a good question, man. You know, I there's one thing I do try to pride upon is being original and trying to, not try to go with the flow of what everybody else is going with. I do take pride in that. So like with me, like I find myself a lot of times to rap about positivity and unity, love, a lot of different things like that, and that's kind of how I want to be respected as someone that really like came with a positive note with hip hop rather than like taking the easy route that a lot of people take is talking about whatever they talk about. We all know. I don't gotta say it, but
no, we don't.
You gotta say it. Yeah, like
no, you gotta say it.
But at the end of the day, it's like, bro, you could talk what you talk, but it all comes back to you because we gotta understand as artists, like the tongue is powerful, man. Like what you say can all come back to you at the end of the day, and what you put out is what you want to have to come back to you. So when I make music, I try to make things that deal with things in life that all people go through. Things that people can relate to, so that they're not feeling like what they're listening to is just bringing them down. It's just so harsh, and I really try to take pride on that because I love where I'm going with my music, with where I could like show my music to somebody and then they be like, oh, this touched me, like, oh, this make me want to cry, or like something like that. That's the type of feels that I like to get. And
no, that's real. No, that's real. I tell a lot of people, like, there's certain artists that are very talented, but you gotta have music for every demographic. I think you should have a song that you can be able to perform anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just got to be well rounded. One of the things is crazy. The last podcast I did with Miss Vita, I think it was the first time my mom was like, she shared it, she spammed it out. She was like, my grandfather, he was like, I'm proud of you, go ahead. That was good. Putting people on notice. So I think it's good. With me even having a daughter, like, I want to be able to have something that she can watch and show and be proud of. And not even worry about the numbers or how much money. It's about, like you said, the creativity, the art of it. So, I definitely feel you on that. And, you get back what you put out, for real.
Yeah.
You definitely do.
Right. Yeah, man. And a lot of things you could notice too in my music is I don't really cuss that much. Like you might hear maybe one or two here and there, but most of the time I don't even cuss. It was one thing I always learned because like my grandpa, man, like I come from a family, man, like they real old school. So like my grandpa one thing he always taught me was using cuss words was just like an easy way to like say what you really want to say. It's like almost like a cop out rather than sounding more intelligent. You could say something like an actual word, you know what I mean?
No, that's real.
And I don't even try to sometimes. Like it just happens. Like I just don't cuss. But if it happens, it happens. Like I'm not gonna seclude myself to just being clean. Like if it happens, it happens.
But you're not forcing it. It don't make you feel like you tougher or you know what I mean, to anybody else. It's just like no, I feel that. I feel that. You gonna make a gospel track? You might as well.
I'm down for it, man. Listen, I'm down for anything, man.
Yeah.
I never try to seclude myself. I would love to maybe collab with a pop artist one day, like country artists. Like I want to collab with so many different artists, to be honest. I've always been inspired. So.
Well, you was close. You was in Mississippi to the country track, right?
Lots of blues.
No, I can see that, though.
That's what's up, though.
And that's music. Like, you want to make music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what we got to get back to is making music. Right. Music that makes us feel good. Music that makes people want to get out. You know what I mean? Not music that makes people want to get out and get drunk and start fighting and going crazy, but just music where you can have a good time. So I think that's dope.
Oh yeah, man, for sure, man. And I just want to keep it going, man. See how people keep reacting, gain more fans across the world, and affect lives, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's good to have positive music out there.
Yeah.
Positive music has always taken us a far way, especially us as black folk too, man. This is what has always brought us to a common ground in life with problems or whatever. So
nah, that's real.
Yeah, man.
Well, listen, we about to wrap out. Shout out your IGs and how they can listen to your music.
Yeah, man. So my Instagram is real_Harmonic Flow. You can also find me on all music platforms, Harmonic Flow. You can also search Love and Tribulations after you search Harmonic Flow. My music will pop right up. I'm on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever. I'm there, man. You can check me out all on there. TikTok as well, Harmonic Flow.
Okay.
Everywhere, man. Yep.
Well, you heard it from the real Harmonic Flow. Make sure y'all tune into his album. It's a dope album, well produced by Swaggy T from Colossal Records and his boys. Shout out Clint. And that wraps up our episode with Opposing Perspective Podcast. I'm your host, Dale. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and IG. Make sure y'all like and subscribe.